You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
It's time for the DragonCon Report, your go-to show for both newbies and seasoned pros gearing up for the annual Downtown Atlanta Convention, with interviews, expert advice, and all the latest updates straight from the dragon's mouth and fans themselves. Stay tuned, you might just uncover something unexpected.
Howdy everyone, and welcome to the 8th episode of the 2025 DragonCon Report. This is our final episode before the con. We are a little more than 2 weeks away from DragonCon 2025, if you can believe it. I'm your host, Mike Gordon, and I'm pleased to introduce you to the rest of our station crew, starting with Jen.
Starting with, it's just me.
Oh, man. Spoiled it. I was gonna mention that we don't have Channing, but now people are bolting. Well, yes, unfortunately Channing is not here this week. He's got pre-con crud, so we're sorry about that. I you know what? It's odd because I reached out to both the Mongoose and
Have you McHeffface?
Heffy McHeffface, and they were both busy they were unavailable as well. So very strange that they were all unavailable to. I thought one of them would be able to take Channing's place, but unfortunately, I guess the whole family has the con crud.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. They all spent the past weekend partying together, so they got each other sick.
Yeah, there you go. But we will be pleased. I'm pleased to say that we're going to be joined a little bit later with a small sampling of folks that talking about some of the revelry you can expect to find at the con. We've got Rebecca, Renee, and Kevin joining us just in a few minutes. But first and foremost, I got to ask you, Jen, are you ready?
No. I'm one of those people. Okay, so you and a lot of our listeners know that I had surgery in April, and that as a result of that, I haven't been able to be at the sewing machine because I can't. It's been too painful to both lean over and cut fabric or sit down for more than 10 minutes at a time. So I started sewing a costume last week.
Well, there you go. It's never too late, right?
No. But I've finished. It's a 4-piece costume. 3 pieces of it are clothing. So I have almost finished the top. It just needs buttons. And I have finished the skirt part. I have the shorts cut out and started sewing them. And then I need to make a headpiece.
Okay.
But then I have 2 other costumes that I purchased and put together. So the horns for one of them arrived today. So I got to try those on. I'm very excited. I have blue horns.
Okay.
They're nice.
Nice. So. I do see in one of the comments, someone has mentioned that they are watching this while they're at their anti-con crud vaccination appointment. And that is actually amazing reminder that we are, like I said, a little bit more than 2 weeks away from DragonCon. So it's not too late to get those vaccinations if you can get them this week or next week, just to help out with anything that you might acquire unwelcomely at the con. So
yeah, and unless you're like me and your doctor won't let you get it till October. So
right,
I'm not even allowed to do flu yet. So
gotcha. Well, I did do my flu shot. I just and if my voice sounds a little rough, I do apologize. I just got done doing an amazing show here locally called Monsterama, which I spoke a lot at. So yeah, my throat is a little rough as well. So but forgive us.
Hey, people might like your voice rougher.
Oh, that's okay. Well, I'll take it.
You might be giving some people out there something sensual. You never know.
So yes, I guess we'll dispense with some business first. The DragonCon Report is an unofficial podcast of the con. We are not and never have been officially connected with DragonCon. For all the official news, we strongly recommend checking out the official website, all their social media outlets, the town hall meetings, etc., etc. We are a proud member of the ESO network. On the esonetwork.com page, there's a direct link to our TeePublic store filled with all kinds of cool swag, including a very cool design for the Dragon Con Report podcast featuring the logo. I always love seeing that logo when I'm at Dragon Con. People are wearing those shirts and having them on different items, and it's just really, really cool to do that. So for all those people who do support us that way, thank you so much. ESO Network, we also have a Patreon page where supporters can access our exclusive readings of the month's Dragon Con guest announcements. And yes, there were some major late guest announcements made over the last few weeks. So
there's more coming.
We will be doing our best to get through those to our patrons. And thank you for all your support. In addition to this video stream that you're watching either on Facebook or YouTube, audio version of our show is still available at all the usual places, and you can always access our past episodes at dragonconreport.com. However you access our show, please like, subscribe, and share. We do really appreciate you. And you can leave us direct feedback or comment on the show at feedback@dragonconreport.com. Or we're also available on Facebook and Instagram too. So not a lot of news and notes. Of course, Dragon Con is happening. Like I said, it is Labor Day weekend, August 28th through September 1st. Those are the official dates. Unofficially, it begins, I think, in 2 days.
Yeah. Hey, we've been seeing the Where Is Everybody photos for 2 months now, at least.
True. That's absolutely true. 5-day memberships are currently $175. Do we expect those to go up at the door? I don't know.
I don't think they're not gonna be available at the door.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. And then
they put out the call today to get your memberships now before they're gone.
Yes, and 1-day passes are still available, I think, for all the days right now.
Yes,
although
but Saturday is going quickly.
I was going to say I expect Saturday to sell out before the con. So yeah, get those as soon as you can. The all applications for guests and fans and bands and all that stuff are closed except for media. There's a couple more days left on that. I believe the deadline is August 15th, so you can squeak in if you want to cover it for a podcast or blog or whatever media that you're covering. So,
and any media out there that's already approved, your deadline to request interviews is in 2 days.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you got to be working ahead of you. Yep. Not much time. And then as we mentioned, the town halls. The next town hall is this Thursday. And Jen, you said that you know what they're going to cover a little bit.
They're going to be covering some parties. Coincidence. They'll be talking about the con exclusive swag, as well as some updates for disability services. And they have already hinted that there will be some more guest announcements. 1 to 2 or possibly more is what they said during the town hall. I know we as in us here in Texas, we saw a little post saying that for those of us who were requesting interviews that we probably wanted to wait until after tomorrow. So I think something's coming. I'm not sure.
Okay.
It could have been something that was already announced. I don't know. We'll see. But Dragon Con always has surprises in store for us. So
absolutely,
we will know in a few days.
Very cool. That's very exciting. Very exciting. Some of the hotels have announced their themes as well as a lot of their food items and drink items that they're going to be doing as well. We're trying to repost all of that stuff on our Instagram. So, but now the information is coming hot and heavy with a lot of people posting a lot of things about what their schedules are, what costumes they're going to wear, what food they're going to be serving and all that kind of stuff. So we're trying to do that as well. So please check out our Instagram and if you have anything that you want us to promote for you, please reach out to us via Instagram or Facebook because we'd like to forward that to you. But
as long as it's happening during con in the con footprint.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, good call there. Yeah, good call there. And doesn't go against any con policies, right?
Yes. The Hilton theme has officially been announced by the hotel. It is How to Train Your Dragon.
How appropriate.
And they really do go above and beyond for hotel decor. I still remember the Jurassic Park year. So I cannot wait to see how they incorporate Toothless and and all the other characters in the hotel.
Yeah, and it just seems like a perfect mashup with Dragon Con.
Indeed.
That really does. So we'll see what the others have to do as well. And I'm looking forward to seeing the key card art for all the hotels because I think we're going to get some really cool stuff. I don't know if they'll link up like they have in the past,
not
or
sure.
if they're individual.
I don't know if we really. We might have found that out in a town hall. I think we did find that out in a town hall before. So maybe that's something we'll find out this week.
Gotcha. In sort of news about DragonCon report, I can tell you that we will have ribbons this year. We
for the second year in a row.
Second year in a row, thanks to Jen and her efforts, as well as I think they're very Heffy McHeffface oriented.
See, now I should have loaded that
picture
for the.
That's okay. Let's see. I kind of sprung that on you because I was like, "Oh, let's talk about the ribbons, that last minute thing." But
and the DragonCon parties, meetups, and more. We're continuing our tradition of having rum puns on our ribbons. So this year says, "Are we having rum yet?"
Yes, excellent.
And I am having rum right now.
And I did my pre-show rum shot before we started, so I'm good. The ribbons are extremely limited. So the plan is for Jen Channing and I to have them on Thursday night, and then we'll just if you see us, say howdy. And
yes, breaking news: Mike is coming out to party on Thursday. All three of us will be at Sven's Drunken Dragon Tiki Party at Trader Vic's.
Yes. Yes. For the first
right
time
around,
in a long time.
Right around 7. But then I will also be at the 120 Minutes party later that evening, which we will be talking about a bit later in the show.
And for the first time in a while, it doesn't look like I have a planned panel for Thursday night. So I can go and spend some time there. So I'm more than happy to do so. Looking forward to that.
Here you go.
Hope to see you guys there.
Jumping back earlier, Rock says that the 175 would be the final full membership price.
Thank you for that. Good news. And then I think just the last thing. Well, look, I've still been checking. The 2025 app is still not updated, but give it another week or so, and then I'm sure that we'll get something. And we'll see how accurate it is. But yeah, the app is still. You still got to wait and update that, but hopefully, and so a lot of us who are guests and are doing panels, we got our tentative schedule sent to us, but there's still some things to work out. So I think they're waiting until some of that stuff gets worked out. And
dang, I was late on the button, man. I was late on the button.
And they're gonna release that. So
you said the app.
I did say a lot of folks have their rum ready too, I see, so that's good. Already.
They're pie.
Or their voodoo their voodoo rum punch, right?
Okay, no, we bring our own rum for that. every con veteran knows to bring your own rum if you're getting a bucket.
There you go. Well, and guest announcements, as we mentioned, there's still some to come, but they have been making major guest announcements, including cast members from The Muppets, Mortal Kombat, Orville, Back to the Future, The Boys, The Magicians, the X-Men 97 cartoon, and Bones, believe it or not. So we'll go over a detailed list via the ESO patron. So we'll cover what we can. But as always, check with the official sources to make sure that the guests that you want to see are going to be there. We're getting lists of notifications of some folks that are canceling as well, that are not going to be able to make it. So make sure if there's somebody you really want to see there, make sure you just double check with the official sources to make sure they're going to be there. So,
indeed.
And that is it for the news and notes. So we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back to talk to some folks about some parties and events that are happening.
Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. I'm here, Scott E. Crampton, at the French Riviera right now, because it's summer, and that's where us rich people go for the summer. But I'm sure you're definitely enjoying your, I don't know, refrigerator box somewhere, or wherever you poors live. Anyway, I wanted to assure all of you that Dragon Con wrestling is still a top priority for me, especially since my team of winners, my team of people that put in the work, they beat AJ's team, and I am now the owner of Dragon Con Wrestling. And things are going to be a bit different. We have some exciting things that all of you are going to love. We have sponsorships now. Delicious sponsorships. We have a lot of amazing things, and if we have time, we'll fit in some wrestling as well. Either way, we'll see you Thursday. That's right, Thursday at the Marriott for Dragon Con Wrestling. Things will never be the same again.
We appreciate Scott Kempton for providing us with a report from the French Riviera. To take time to do that, I think is really, really great. I wish the mongoose could have some sort of response to that, but unfortunately,
he's the that
he's,
ad is going to be shared with him.
Of course,
it's in the comments.
Okay,
but also thanks to Dave for sending us a little teaser.
Yes,
for the Big Damn Game Show.
And for those people, the Big Damn Game Show is going to be at the Hyatt Regency. That is Saturday, August 30th at 10 p.m. So my understanding is that fills up. So you want to line up for that one and make sure you don't miss that one. So
same thing. Missing it fills up.
We are happy to show those promos, and yeah, we've got some more information. Sarah just provided some information about Murder Most Felt, and all of the like I said, there's so much happening right now, and we are, like I said, we are trying to promote all we can and repost things on our Instagram, so and through our Facebook as well. So look for those sources to get some information too. And of course, Jen's group is covering all of the parties, meetups, and more.
Yep.
I understand, right?
But not photo shoots, because there's another group for that.
There's another group for that. Well, speaking of parties and meetups and more, we've got some folks to talk about some of the events that they are going to be hosting at Dragon Con. So let's welcome first Renee. Renee is joining us.
I clicked the wrong things. I'm bringing them all in at once.
Okay. We've got Renee, and we've got Kevin and Rebecca. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. I can't wait to hear more about what we're going to start with Renee anyway. And Renee, tell us a little bit about your Dragon Con experience, how you started with Dragon Con, and what you're doing at Dragon Con these days.
Absolutely. So again, my name is Renee. I do way too much for Dragon Con. To start, a few years ago, I took on the role of the animation track director. So that's been really exciting for the past maybe almost 10 years. What is time? And then most recently, I have been taken on under Dan Carroll's team to assist with the media liaison, so that we are helping on site to speak with the press, do live interviews, all the big cameras that you see coming through. That is us and our team doing all the hard work so that we can share the love of Dragon Con and continue showcasing it throughout the weekend. So I do programming and I do the media, and I am super excited to do both. And then I also, with the programming, do have some parties. I'll wait till we kind of circle back around. Or do you want me to go now? Because I can list them now, or we want to do intros.
No, that's good. We'll wait on that. I'm sort of interested is when when was your first Dragon Con, and then what was that experience like, and how did you find out about Dragon Con to begin with?
Yeah, so in 2009, I was working at GameStop, and somehow everybody who worked at GameStop went to Dragon Con. I don't know who was managing the location in Snellville that weekend, but they were like, hey, are you going to Dragon Con this year? I said, what is that? I had just moved back from Arizona. I lived in Georgia since 96, had never heard of it. and they're like, oh, we're gonna have fun. So I went, had an amazing time, saw the coolest people, cosplay, voice actors, guests, everything. And it was like, I have to do this every single year. And then I just kept doing all cons that I could get my hands on. But Dragon Con as well as MomoCon, just the Atlanta con scene is so fantastic and unlike any place in the rest of the country that I've been to. So I keep coming back. They asked me to volunteer and be involved. And I said, absolutely, I want to help make this better and bring in more people to experience it.
Awesome. And Rebecca, what about you? What was your first con experience, and what are you doing? What are you doing at con this year?
My first Dragon Con was 2003. I was living in Michigan at the time, and I think I actually saw a commercial for it on the Sci-Fi Channel. And I believe they had announced guests from The Lord of the Rings and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And I thought, I need to go to this convention. So I drove from Michigan to Atlanta.
Wow.
And got a hotel when I got here, which was a thing that you could do back then. It was just 3 hotels at the time. Had an incredible experience. In part due to all the people that I met and the friends that I made, kind of partly the reason that I live in Atlanta now. Became involved with a great website called onering.net, which is a website forged by and for fans of J.R.R. Tolkien. They have been going since, I believe, 2000. They've been doing panels and hosting parties. I will be there this year in part for the high fantasy track and for the onering.net. We always have a fan table. We are we host the Evening at Bree, which is a big event on Friday night over in the Hilton, I believe. Hilton Grand Ballroom East on Friday night at 8:30. Costume contest, bands. It's always a lot of fun. I'm also DJing this year, the Goblin Ball, which is going to be 90s themed. So I'm going to be playing a lot of Fly music from the 90s. Stuff. That is going to be in the Marriott, I believe on the atrium level, Sunday night at 10 o'clock. And I know there's a lot of competition on Sunday for dance parties. But, if I know you have a lot to choose from, but, stop by, have some fun, do the Macarena with us, and, it's going to be great.
And there, well, as you mentioned, there's a lot to do, but there's also so much to do, and there's so many people that if one thing is full, there's something else, right? So
exactly.
There's always another option. Kevin, what about you? What's your history with Dragon Con, and what are you up to this year?
Well, I did have a quick question for Rebecca. Rebecca, if you play Salt and Pepper's Push It at the 90s party, when they say this dance isn't for everybody, only the sexy people, will Dragon Con security be enforcing that?
I can neither confirm nor deny that.
Okay.
However, when I do play House of Pain, jump around, and people do not jump around, we may have to get, the authorities involved.
Yeah,
I may have to
jail time right there.
Yeah,
have to have some standards.
Yeah, the standards must be enforced.
Well,
we don't need any wiggity whack people at the 90s party.
Right, no whack, no whack.
I hope I'm remembering that correctly, that Crisscross was the 90s and not the 80s.
No, they're 90s.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think you're right.
Pants.
Okay.
Yeah, backwards pants.
Yeah.
Okay, Kevin.
Well, hello, Dragon Con Report. Very excited to be here. Long-time listener, first-time caller, and my Dragon Con origin story, like Renee's, was 2009. That was my first Dragon Con. Before that, I had been a San Diego Comic-Con person, and Comic-Con was getting kind of too crazy. It's like, you can't get a hotel room. Little did I know for Dragon Con. But at the time, in 2009, a couple weeks out, I was able to get a hotel off of Hotwire. So I came down, I did a lot of celebrity panels. I did a lot of sort of, looky-looing at all the cosplay with my friends. And it was great. And I went for the next few years. In circa the mid 2010s, I live in Boston. My wife and I had children, including twins. So Dragon Con was sort of off the table for a bit then. It was just not in the plan. But in the 2020s, Mike and Jen, our mutual friend Kevin Eldridge from the great ESO network show The Flopcast, and I were doing some panels at a local convention up here called Aresia about Saturday morning cartoons, and he was the one who was like, "You got to come back to Dragon Con. It's the best time." And so blame him, people. So then I started coming back down, and I got a little. Kevin introduced me to Joe Crow and Gary Mitchell from American Sci-Fi Classics Track, so I got involved with doing some programming for them.
Okay, which one of you do we blame Manimal on?
That is all Joe.
Okay.
Just blame Joe for Manimal. None of the rest of us do what we can. But
hey, I liked that show.
And I've sort of been doing stuff there ever since. I've been an attending pro the past few years. I'm one this year. I'm doing programming with, I think, 7 different tracks as of now.
Wow.
For Dragon Con 2025, which I'm really excited about. The majority is with American Sci-Fi Classics, and we're doing the 120 Minutes Dance Party.
The best party at Dragon Con. Sorry. I have a bias, everybody. I have a bias.
I'm excited for that one. I'm excited. I am excited for that. That is my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
So I am very excited for that one.
Oh, fantastic. I can't wait for it to happen. We're doing music video book club, which is Friday night at 8:30, where a bunch of us show like the weirdest sci-fi themed music videos we can find and make jokes about them. So I am really excited for Dragon Con. I'm really excited to be on the Dragon Con report.
Oh, our missing co-host has a request. Rebecca. Play the theme for Manimal at the Goblin Party.
Manimal was 80s.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, well, he might be trying to tie it into the Goblin theme. You know,
well,
but if he played it in the 80s, if it was around the 80s, it still played in the 90s.
Yeah, there you go.
True. But I will be playing the theme song to Mortal Kombat at the dance party, though. So
Gotcha.
There you go.
Gotcha. Well,
wait,
I want
the techno version that came out in the 90s? Oh, okay.
The techno version, yes.
Yeah, of course. Renee, I want to circle back to you because I want to make sure you're talking about all the events that you guys got planned too, because I'm sure that you guys have some amazing stuff going on in your track room as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So it sounds like a lot of fun, and as mentioned, it is hard to like know how to get your schedule so you can see as much of what's going on each day. So this year we kind of, because of our animation track, not anime, but animation. Anime is my friend Eric. There's just been a lot of musical cartoons, musical shows that have come out, a lot of music just in the industry in general. So I had a group reach out last year who wanted to do a Swamp Stomp event. So we're going to host a Swamp Stomp Shrek themed rave in our panel room. It's very ambitious because our panel room is the smaller of the rooms we have. So, but if it works out great, we can expand it maybe to another space in the future. But that's Thursday evening. So we're kicking off the weekend. Amazing. So bring your favorite.
What time?
This is starting at, I should know this off the top of my head. It should start around 8 on Thursday night.
And we also have to make it known that, like, you know, these times, everything is tentative. Nothing happens at Dragon Con until like after it happens, and then you know that it happened then, right?
Exactly.
Or you know, we're on site.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like because even when the app drops, stuff can change.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I know.
After the Daily Dragon drops,
yeah,
stuff can still change.
Yeah.
Because I'm making those changes to programming when I'm like, oh no, something changed. So that's Thursday night. That's really exciting. Friday night, we're continuing with the Helpa Has Been sing along. It is better and greater than it was last year. I have a much pretty much the Hellverse, Helva Boss and Has Been Hotel. Has some amazing music. It's just been a really big hit of a show over the past couple of years. And I had a very wonky playlist last year. I have a very structured one this year. And we're tying it into the charity. So we're giving people the opportunity to donate to Dragon Con's official charity to be able to lip sync on stage during one of their favorite songs. So we'd hosted this at a couple of other conventions. We did a really successful run at MomoCon. So I'm really excited to allow people to get that energy out because they want to do it, but we got to keep it structured. So
wait, so is the lip sync separate from the sing along?
So it is all together. So I have
Okay.
the playlist. What I let people know early is to usually when they're in line or as they're coming in, to do the QR code, go ahead and donate, show us they donated, and then pick which song in the order that it's listed that they want to do the lip sync.
Okay.
And it seems to flow within an hour as
But
long
people
as
are still audibly singing along, right?
correct. Yeah,
Okay,
we don't
yeah.
give mics to anyone.
Okay.
We want to keep it as,
Well, no,
not
I
everyone's
was
going
thinking
to
in my
be.
head, I was like, wait, is this like a silent disco where
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a sing along, but nobody's actually
Or is this?
singing
everyone
out
got headphones on.
loud?
That'd be
Again.
super cool. But no, the audience engages. The audience pretty much sings. We have huge text on the screen. I made sure it was much bigger than your average text and at the top, so that it's easier for people throughout the room to see. And then there's just going to be someone who has really passion. They wanted to donate. They can come up in front and just kind of act out and lip sync it. But yeah, we don't give them a mic. We just let everybody in the audience be part of the experience. Just helps everyone to stay immersed and not feeling like anyone has to be put on the spot. So it's Friday. Real quick, Saturday, we have our Cartoon Bebop Lounge that is a just amalgamation. It's not just Cowboy Bebop. It's not just anime. It's not just cartoons. It's some video game music. It's very chill. So we say this is the most chill space at the convention. When you're going around Saturday night and you're a little overstimulated, come into our room. We will have blow up chairs. We will have, like I said, really relaxing, chill music that you can dance to, but you can also, people have taken naps in this party. We are absolutely okay with that. It is like a spacey theme, but it is lights out and just kind of like low impact. So then you can kind of like recoup and then bounce back to any other thing that's going on Saturday night. That will be Saturday at 8:30 in the Hilton Grand West. And then
where's your track room?
Our track room, which is where the Swamp Stomp is Hilton Galleria 1,
Got it.
which is on the base level.
Okay.
And then last but not least, bringing it back around to Hell of a Boss and Hatman Hotel mostly. We're actually doing a live performance panel called Jasmine Hotel, where a group of just cosplay performers, me included, are going to be singing just some really jazzy songs in character, in costume. We're going to have a raffle. We're going to have sing-alongs. And this is Sunday also in Grand West, starting at 10 o'clock because mature content. So we've got a lot of aspects for people to sing and dance throughout the whole weekend.
Wow, that is amazing. That's a lot of programming, and that's not even counting all the panels and stuff that you're doing during the day.
Correct. We have about 50 hours of programming, which is not to be beat by digital media track.
Don't remind me.
The most.
No, we have like 75 hours of programming.
So we're not coming for you. We want you to win that. But we have a lot. And what we're doing is kind of doubling up. I'm sorry to take all the time, but we're kind of doubling up this year on like some of our game show programming was really popular last year. The musical programming was popular. So we're giving a little bit extra time. So it's not necessarily 50 panels. It's just like 50 hours cumulatively. And before I get off topic, we did throw in a panel that's going to be like a sing-along / fan panel for K-pop Demon Hunters because that did fall under my track, and I was not unsure.
Well, I was gonna bring it up, but then I was like, wait, that might be anime track.
No,
like,
I wrestled for it. No, I don't even think I asked Eric. I think I asked Silk Road Track Beth to see if they were going to do anything, and we're ending up, I need to actually send her details, but we're going to probably cross promote that just so we can have like a fan discussion. Plus, I'd love to create like a sing along because there's not as many songs, so it's not going to take a whole hour just to allow people to like get their voices out. I apologize in advance again. This is going to be in our panel room, so if you can't get in, we'll just crank the music up so you can sing in the hallways if this becomes really popular. But we really hope that we wanted to make sure there was visibility and representation of this amazing show on site.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that is the That is the movie that has, I think, taken everybody by storm this summer. Like it's got a lot of track. I would imagine that there's going to be a lot of cosplay representing it too.
Absolutely. I see Sarah's post. Sarah's also doing a Hellverse Battle Royale in the track. So definitely come in and represent. It's going to be, there's so much singing and Hellverse represented. I think Hellverse and K-pop Demon Hunters, if we did a count, I feel like the numbers are going to be very similar at DragonCon this year.
Nice. Rebecca, I had some looking at the because I'm not as familiar with the Goblin Ball, and of course, I the name I think comes from the movie Labyrinth, right? So I'm expecting it to be like a more formal affair. Is it a formal event, or is it something that just everybody can come to, or how does that play out?
I mean, there's also goblins on Lord of the Rings.
True.
Yeah, so it's not really, we're not expecting people to dress up in ball gowns. Costumes, of course, are encouraged. I mean, it's DragonCon. I would be shocked if people didn't dress up. The fact that it's 90s themed, I would really love people to do like a take on, a 90s, 90s inspired high fantasy character. Last year we did an 80s themed Goblin Ball. So we had some 80s dressed elves, which were really fun.
Okay.
You can imagine 80s and like neon, spandex elves, think, Olivia Newton-John, let's get physical. It was pretty great.
What was the year of the movie where Tim Curry is the devil and the girl dances with the dress and there's glitter everywhere?
That's
Legend.
Legend.
That was
that's
80s.
That's
yeah.
the 80s.
Okay, so the glitter will be toned down this year versus the 80s one.
No, we liked our glitter in the 90s.
Yeah, but 90s, I mean, of course, yes, of course, there was, grunge, everybody, thinks of that. But there was also, you have like, I want to see like Hobbit boy bands and, we could have, yes, there's still lots of glitter, lots of like shiny silver.
And 90s fashion is back in style. I mean, you walk through Target and that's 90% of what I wore in high school.
Yeah. I know. I was kind of trying to think of what am I going to wear, and I was looking in my closet, and I'm like, yeah, it's pretty much what I wear now is what I wore 30 years ago. I mean, which is a black mini skirt and a Cure t-shirt, but I mean,
Hey, that was my high school outfit.
That's an outfit that works for any decade, though. Really.
Yes, I would. But we did have a lot at the Goblin Ball. Of course, since it was 80s, we did have lots of Jareths, lots of Labyrinth inspired costumes. So for the 90s, maybe some Edward Scissorhands, maybe let's see. And The Crow isn't really high fantasy, but that's also very 90s.
To somebody that is a high fantasy.
Jareth from Tin Machine.
It's very 90s, very 90s costumes, think, the Matrix and that kind of stuff. So I encourage everybody. I mean, DragonCon goers are nothing if not creative. And so I always look forward to seeing the mashup costumes that people come up with these things.
So in addition to the Goblin Party, you also have the Evening at Bree. What are some of the other nighttime events that the track that puts on for everybody?
Those are the two biggest events, the evening events. There are also there's Hobbit drinking songs. There is the Elf Choir. Hobbit drinking songs, I believe, is on Saturday evening. But double check your DragonCon app for that one. Elf Choir is also a big, has become very popular. You just have, a giant group of elves walking through the halls of DragonCon with lanterns, and it's very ethereal. And it's very beautiful. And That's about it. That's about it. As far as big parties go for the high fantasy track.
Gotcha. The question, and I'll start with you, Rebecca, because I know that you have done DJing for other events, and I think Kevin, you have as well. And I don't know if you can speak to this as well, Renee, but I'm kind of curious: is programming music, DJing music for a DragonCon event, is it very different? Is it more of a challenge than other events?
For me, it's not more of a challenge. So when I DJ'd in the past, I primarily DJ'd goth and industrial events. And so that's kind of my wheelhouse. So for something like this like 80s and 90s ball, I'm going to be playing stuff that I might not necessarily play at other events, like, so for the 90s, I wouldn't necessarily be playing for myself, Britney Spears and, Backstreet Boys and kind of stuff like that. But I know those songs are going to get people out on the dance floor, and that's going to, be very popular with the crowd. So I just try to be very mindful of, of the crowd and what I hope people are going to be happy with, and what I hope will get people on the dance floor and keep them on the dance floor.
Is your list structured, or is it does there flexibility there as the night goes on? If you get requests or see that something isn't working?
I don't typically take requests, just because, I mean, I have a pretty big selection of music, but internet, if I need to go in and try to download something, it's pretty impossible to do that in those rooms. But I try to be open with it. And again, if I'm playing stuff and, it seems like this crowd doesn't seem to be feeling this, and I put on something else and the crowd seems to be responding to it, we'll keep that kind of, vibe going, and stick with that. So again, it's all about just reading the room and, keeping the dragon folks dancing.
Oh yeah.
The kiss of death would be to show up with like a Spotify playlist and just hit play. Like, I feel like if there is an art to DJing, it's reacting to the room and sort of being in conversation with them.
Well, Kevin knows all about getting requests because we were inundating him last year.
I feel like if we get a request and it fits the remit of the dance party, I am more than happy to sort of make someone's DragonCon slightly better.
Well, I remember last year, I was like, do you have this? Oh, I don't have that one. Do you have this? No, I don't have that one.
Yes.
You're like, I'm in this room and I can't download it.
Well, if you go to the event page of the 120 Minutes Dance Party, there is a thread for requests on there beforehand.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
Yeah,
So then I'm going to put my CCCP request on there.
And I will say on the High Fantasy Facebook page a few weeks ago, I had asked people, hey, if we're going to do a 90s theme, what songs would you like to hear? And so I have incorporated a lot of that into the dance party. And again, if there's something, if it's, somebody's birthday or somebody's getting married or something, and if I have the song, I will try to play it. But
and now it's going to be everyone's birthday.
But the number of people that, I'm playing, this is an 80s themed dance party and someone comes in, can you play some dubstep? It's like, no.
And I'm co-DJing the 120 Minutes Dance Party with Chris Cummins from Sci-Fi Explosion. So I feel like our styles are complementary, but not exactly the same. So it's also sort of, Chris will do his thing for about half an hour, then I'll do my thing for half an hour, and we'll sort of tag team and I think play off what the other person does. Like that's what's happened the past few years, which I've really liked because it's felt more collaborative. And I feel like one of the things that makes DragonCon special is everyone's coming together, but everyone's coming together to make the culture of DragonCon together. So I feel like that's what we're hoping to do with the party too.
So, and this is the third year of 120 minutes. Is that correct?
It is. I
Right.
would say, like all the best ideas, it was hatched at Trader Vic's. And the previous year, and it started as an idea for a panel, and Chris and I were like, it would be cool. We were talking about 120 minutes and all those bands, and that would be cool to do a panel. And then as an afterthought, when we were pitching it to Joe and Gary at American Sci-Fi Classics, oh, maybe we'll do a dance party after. And we showed up for the panel, and it was clear everyone who showed up was there for the dance party. Very little interest in the panel. So we kind of like did a quick 10-minute panel, then got to the dance party. And so I just did 120 minutes discussion as an episode of my podcast instead that people could go listen to. And
so was that originally in the track room?
No.
Or was it in the location where the party is now?
It's been in the same location every year so far, which is A601 to A602 atrium level of the Marriott. So if you can't get into the Bunny Hutch, this could be your plan B.
Also, atrium level, for those unfamiliar with the actual names of the floors, that is the main cosplay floor. That's where everybody circles. That's where the Pulse Lounge is. It is on the back side of that floor. And the AC works great in that room.
Yes, and that's also where the 90s dance party will be, is in the same room. And it's such a brilliant idea, the 120 minutes dance party, because, someone, my age, all you have to say is 120 minutes. I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly the music. And I'm like, yes. I know, and I'm like, I know I will love everything that you play.
Yeah,
so.
I never missed an episode of 120 minutes.
I used to record it.
Yes, on my VSR tapes.
I still have the copy when Robert Smith hosted, and they just played 2 hours of The Cure. I still have that tape.
I still have the one where they debuted the Lullaby video, and after it ended, the VJ came on with like, "Whoa, what the hell was that?"
I always wonder what happened to Dave Kendall.
He is a journalist in Thailand at the moment.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Because Chris was emailing him about the party. I will say, for people who like what's new or back this year, is one of the consistent pieces of feedback in the app when we did the dance party last year was people wanted a video element. So we are incorporating that this year. So
nice.
if you don't think that your app feedback matters, we got that. And it's not going to be like we play the song and the videos on the screen, because that is too limiting. And we play like dance remixes and stuff. But there is just going to be like sort of a visual hodgepodge of a lot of shots of Dave Kendall in different outfits. At one point, Chris and I were joking, like, we should just have the video screen be Dave Kendall host segments for 3 hours. But that was something that, because of the app feedback, we are incorporating this year.
That's actually really interesting, because that's something that maybe should be applied across the board for anything that doesn't necessarily have visual. I know, like I said, I saw Sarah and Channing both do panels for me, and I've sent multiple emails like, if you're doing a panel, you have to have something on the projector, whether you're talking, if it's music related, just find something. If it is, or audience engagement. So it does really help just to like people be in the moment with the music or even with discussion, but having something up there in the room that is more than just a talking head. But you're spot on with the feedback. Like I love going through feedback every year. There are panels I've completely cut. Most of them were mine, but from previous years where I was like, I'm too tired for this and nobody liked it. So we're just not going to do it again. So that visual aspect is really helpful.
Absolutely. See, the app does matter. So make sure you rate all your panels and make comments, because people do read that. So that feedback is important. I whenever I do a panel, I try to moderate and everything. I try to make sure that people rate and review them in the app, because I know how much important it is for you guys to get that feedback. And it's actually feedback that everybody sees, not just like somebody telling you, because it's one thing for someone to just tell you like, oh, you should do this and this and this. It's like, unless you write it down, I'm not going to remember that.
Yeah, no, right? I totally agree, Renee. I'm hosting a panel, I think 4 p.m. on Sunday, tentative, about video games in 80s movies. And the idea is to show like fun little clips and have visuals for the movie we're talking about at the time up for that very reason.
Yeah. Even like still clips too help, because like it's a lot to get video. Now it's easy actually. Dang, 2025, the snipping tool, like you can really download anything now, copyright pending. But I've been in panels where literally the slideshow was a list of every character in this particular show, and every time a new slide came on, the entire room would erupt in like applaud, or like whether they really like that character. And it was just a still slideshow of like, now we're gonna talk about this person. Everyone's like, oh, I love that person. So I really think that, you know, it doesn't have to be a lot of work put into it, but you got to really lean into the audience being able to react to, you know, more than just words.
Yeah, good call. Good call.
Now, in addition to the parties that you're involved with each of your prospective tracks, what are some of the other events, if you have time, that you either have enjoyed in the past or are looking forward to trying to get into this year?
Start with you, Renee.
Anybody? And not just stumped everyone.
Okay, Rebecca.
I always look forward to when I can get into it, the burlesque show. I always think is really fun. Although, you know, I don't always have time to wait for 3 hours in line to get into it. But when I have gotten into it in the past, I always enjoy it. It's really fun. And of course, the Thursday dance party is great.
I really enjoy the aquarium party. I love having a cocktail with a beluga whale.
Same.
So I'm going to that this year. Very excited. Got my VIP ticket and everything.
I'll see you in there then.
Fantastic. Sunday at 10 p.m. I'm really excited for Sci-Fi Explosion, which my co-DJ Chris Cummins hosts in the American Sci-Fi Classics room, M103-M105, where he shows like the weirdest clips he can find from old science fiction commercials and TV shows. The man is like an archaeologist of our shared memory. And it is
is that different from, isn't there something called like the Son of Sam, or there's something one of my friends always goes to that he said he stumbled upon, and it was the weirdest, most random sci-fi stuff he had ever seen.
This might be that.
It sounds familiar, but
last year he found like a German X-rated version of E.T. and he was showing clips from that.
Wow.
It's really wild, and I cannot recommend it enough. And it is usually kind of standing room only.
So I'm guessing this is adult. This is an adult rated panel.
It's after 10. So
into the internet. That might be the panel I was thinking of.
And, I just had at Monsterama, as part of my programming, Chris did a couple of panels for Sci-Fi Explosion, and he presented his videos. And yes, he does. I mean, I thought I knew just about everything that was out there related to Spider-Man, and he came up with not one, not two, but like a dozen things that I had never seen before that were just completely bonkers and crazy. And he's fun, and he's very interactive with the audience. And yeah, I can't speak higher enough about his shows. So they're ones that if you can see them, don't miss them.
And how about you, Renee?
I actually.
Like, do you have time? Because I know you might be the busiest out of all of us here.
One thing that I try to make my way to is the final boss rave, which means that pretty much I'm done at a certain time on Sunday. I go back to my hotel, I sleep, and then I literally wake up at like 3 a.m. and I walk and usually the weather's great to the Marriott, and I will just dance from like 3 to 5. I remember one of my first cons when there was still a McDonald's downtown. I was leaving that rave and I went to the McDonald's. I think it was where the CVS is now. And I like left there, went to McDonald's, got a breakfast sandwich, and then went back to my hotel. Obviously there's no McDonald's there anymore. So no what do you call it? McGriddles. But It just helps to get all the energy out. And then I sleep and I wake up somehow by like 11 o'clock to like close out the room and do whatever last minute stuff I have to do. So I get a lot of naps in, sometimes even in the panel rooms. But I also am trying to, I invested in a big cosplay this year. So I may or may not have the ability to do this, but I try to make it to the Walk of Fame and to some of the guest panels for some of the bigger guests that I like super recognize. So I'm going to try to see like John Boyega because he's like international coming in.
Yeah.
Any panel he has, or to try to make it through the Walk of Fame to see and like either get an autograph from him. Usually I do pictures. I'm not an autograph sort of guy.
I'm usually a picture person myself.
Yeah. So I try to make it to Walk of Fame to like get you really celebrate some of those creators, some of those actors, and different people who are celebrities, to celebrate them. So when I have extra time, that's usually where I kind of make my way.
Oh, and a big damn game show too. I love.
Absolutely.
Saturday night.
Yes.
Dave West and his crew, like I feel like top themselves every year. I always love to see what they come up with.
But that's during the aquarium.
It's usually after the aquarium.
Well, isn't it?
The aquarium starts at 7
and ends at 11.
Well, I leave at like 9:45.
Yeah.
Big damn game show.
The schedule was set. He's like 7 to 8 drinks with Beluga. 8:30.
Yes. No, not when you have VIP, because the food is great.
Oh yeah, I bet.
The Belugas get tired of me saying like, let me tell you which REM songs are the most underrated. Like after about an hour or two. So
I'm gonna have to start bribing Dave to be able to get me into the room, because it's been like, or they need to get a bigger room, because every year it seems to get more and more packed. And
every year it's bigger.
Every year people discover new things.
Yeah,
like it's probably only let's look at where the bunny hutch started. Things get popular and they grow. So I think there's probably a lot of events that are due for bigger spaces. I know, like over in the Trek track, the Riker games, they could definitely use a bigger room for that.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest feedback that I know we get is like, oh, I love this panel, needs a bigger room. Love this panel, needs a bigger room. I was like, this is all I got. Like, I literally have so many rooms that I can work with over the year to even request this bigger space. So I don't know, doubling up sometimes, having like additional hour, or I mean, that works maybe with smaller panel rooms, but yeah, something like the aquarium night is the space is the space. So.
Yeah. Well, and also no matter when a party reaches a certain size, they're already in the biggest room the hotels have to offer. You hit capacity. There is no bigger space to move to.
Yeah, there aren't empty ballrooms in Dragon Con. Like every big room is being used for something. So
right, all you can do is request, hey, maybe next year tell Dragon Con. Get us in a bigger room.
Yeah, and that's something you can put in your app feedback, folks.
That's right.
And it's great that there are so many awesome things happening that you can choose between, but it can be frustrating because it's like, oh, I want to go to these 4 things.
And speaking of other things, before we start winding down here, I did want to give everybody just a sampling of some of the early things that are happening. Because the unofficial start of con is Wednesday on August 27th, and there is already quite a lot of parties. You have Swag and Seek hangouts. You have the Over 40 meetup over at the Hilton. You have the 13th annual Welcome Home Wednesday party, which is at the Marriott Pulse Bar, and there you can typically find at least one of your Dragon Con Report hosts. You can find the folks from the Horror Track are always there. The Dragon Con DJs, the DC DJs, they're always there. There's a lot of different groups and folks mingling. And there is already a ton of costuming on Wednesday. Brian Humphrey does his yearly yearbook release and his charity photo shoots that night. It's the Onesie Wednesday meetup. Dan hosts the annual memorial for the Marriott Carpet Trashy, the blue postcard, photo shoot, photo op for free. down underneath the stairs on the Marriott Marquis level, and then just jump into Thursday before the app even updates. We already know that we have the theater and performing art lovers meetup. We have the Con Crawl version 8, the Dragon Con Battle Vest meetup. Of course, the Drunken Dragon Tiki meetup at Trader Vic's, the Dragon Con Cigar Group meetup, the Muscle Nerds finals. Usually the military sci-fi track does a onesie mixer. You have Dragon Con Wrestling, Sherilyn Kenyon's Reader and Fan Appreciation Party, 80s Prom, the Page to Stage contest, the Dragon Con Cocktails Group lobby crawl, and then after hours, the Dragon Con Juke Joint, the 120 Minis Party, the Bunny Hutch, the 8-Bit Bash, and the Drum Circle. And that's what we know before the app has even come out.
God, Dragon Con's the best.
Yeah.
I'm already tired. I'm already tired.
But you can keep up with handy dandy list for that by going over to Facebook and Discord and joining the Dragon Con Parties Meetups and More group, because I scour all the groups. Although now it's easier because people actually send their events to me. But I put daily schedules up for both things you're going to find on the app, but then your different fan groups and stuff who they're unofficial, so they're not going to make it in the app, so that you know where to find like-minded people to hang out with.
It's going to be crazy, and it's less than, well, as people are watching this, it's like just 2 weeks away. So
I'm not
or
ready.
less. So it's crazy. So I know you guys are all in prep mode for getting ready for Dragon Con. So
I'm not
thank you.
ready.
So many Hitchcock movies to rewatch, Michael.
He only has 52 of them, so it's okay.
Well, yeah, apparently I need to check all the movies between the years 1998 and 2000.
Every single one.
Well, I don't know. I'm doing a panel with sci-fi classics this year called Roll a Panel.
Oh yeah.
So
you have to be ready for anything on that one.
Yeah,
so you never know where the die is going to land. So yeah, good luck. But thank you guys so much for taking the time to join us, because like I said, I know 2 weeks out it's heavy prep time. So thank you guys so much. We'll start with you, Rebecca. Where can people find you, not only at con but outside of con, if people want to contact you outside of that?
Or if you want them to be able to contact you.
Well, true.
I know, I don't mind. I am on Instagram and just Facebook. I'm not a big social media person, but I'm on there just under Rebecca Perry. You can find me. I'm also, if you ever go on theonering.net, you may occasionally see me pop up with the occasional article as Deej.
Awesome. And Kevin, what about you?
Beststuffpod.com is where you can find my podcast, The Best Stuff in the World, where a series of guests and I discuss exactly that, the best stuff in the world. And Michael Gordon himself can be found on an episode where we talk about Charlie Chaplin with the great Denise Lehman. So go check that out. And my other podcast, Gleaming the Tube, is about movies that involve skateboarding in some capacity. That can be found at gleamingthetube.net.
Fun stuff. And Renee?
I'm on Instagram at Renee, 4 Atlanta. I'm on YouTube and TikTok sometimes at Renee, 4 Animation. If it is something that is animation track related or even media liaison related for DragonCon, you actually can email me at animation@dragoncon.org. Obviously, if you email me now, probably going to be something for 2026, but I'm always interested to hear from you guys. Especially as you'd kind of mentioned, as people are looking to do pre-interviews, planning the convention. We are still kind of open to interviewing ahead of time to talk about what's happening in 2025. So yeah, reach out there.
It's never too early to start prepping for next year.
It is. Right now, it's a little too early, but tomorrow will be good.
So awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us. We look forward to seeing you all at the con. Big shout out to our station crew. And I'm going to say thank you to Channing, because I know he's out there monitoring some of the comments that we're getting.
Yeah, he might have fallen asleep from the drugs by now. But it's
the drugs might have kicked in.
Yeah, the last comment he made was 38 minutes after with his trolls to men pun.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, that was enough. Yeah,
That was a mic drop.
That was, yeah, that was definitely.
And I'm out.
Boom. Done. There was no way he was going to top himself after that.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, and certainly you can find him at DragonCon, Black Geeks DragonCon, his group, and all of his social medias too. And thank you, Jen, for working your magic once again, and all the work that you do, not only for this show, but of course now that we're getting hot and heavy with the DragonCon parties, meetups, and more. There's a lot to track. So
yeah, it took me 5 hours just to get the list for Wednesday and Thursday done. I have not even started on a Friday. And then once the app hits, like that's always kind of my nightmare. Because like I don't just list like your big parties at night. I'm listing the concerts, I'm listing the concourse stage. You know, I go one of my favorite things at con is I'm a musician. I was a touring musician, so I go see bands. I'm very excited. One of my favorite
amazing performers.
One of my favorite bands, Blair Crimmins and the Hookers. They're playing this year. I'm so excited about that. So I'm listing all the concerts. I list, the group meetups. I list some of the family events like the fort building. Things that I think are interactive. Because I don't ever want somebody to say I can't find something to do. So,
Jen, we need to get your own app. So there's a DragonCon app, and then there's the
I have the Facebook group and I have the Discord. That is enough. So, but you can find me online at Lil Bit Odd. That's LILBITODD. My Instagram is still open. That's my username on Discord. In addition to the parties group, I'm on the DragonCon Discord, the Over 40 Discord, and I'm in the Digital Media Track Discord as well. And I think that's my username on Blue Sky, but I think I only update there like every 3 months. Same for TikTok. I watch stuff. I've only reshared TikToks. I have never made one myself. So yeah. By the time I make one, there'll be a new app that everybody's obsessed with. And what about you, Mike? Where can people find you?
People can find me online on social media. Michael Gordon, I think, is actually my Facebook account, as well as New Legend Mike is all my other social medias. So you can find me there. And look, I don't know if we've mentioned it, but Channing and Jen and myself are all going to participate in panels this year. And oddly enough, none of them are. I think only one of them is like one that both of us are going to be. It's a couple of us are going to be on together. So a lot of us.
Oddly enough, the panel we share is the Tiki panel. It has nothing to do with what
like this. So So yeah, to find out, and I'm excited for the Tiki Pop panel this year. It's our 10th annual one. So we've been doing this for 10 years. I can't believe it. It's been that long, but great crew to talk all about Tiki stuff. And so I'm glad you're going to be joining us for that. But my point was that, look, once the app comes out, look at all our names because we'll be all over the con, and that's where you can find us. And for me, you can also find me in the America's Mart, the the Comics and Pop Artist Alley, which is on the 4th floor. And I will be on my usual table, which is 724, which was confirmed that I got again. So I'm really happy about that. So we try to cover all we can with these episodes.
We're not allowed to post our schedules until after the app drops. So
is that right?
Why that's what I was told on the
I don't think
digital media.
I don't think a lot of people are adhering to that rule. Okay. I'm seeing a lot of schedules being posted already.
Yeah,
I'm with you, Jen. I'm waiting for the app to drop.
Well,
that's what I usually do as well.
Also, very surprised at the amount of stuff I saw being posted. I was like, is the app live?
Yeah, I know. That's why I keep checking. I'm like, no, not yet. All right, I gotta wait. So
granted, I've said a whole bunch of stuff on this podcast that maybe I shouldn't have said, but
it's like, I said a panel on Monday, but I didn't say what time because that could change.
Actually, that's why I'm letting people know that it's unofficial, that we're unofficial, and everything is tentative. So we're covered, right? So
I'm always just like look my name up in the app, and you can see the dumb stuff I'm doing at Dragon.
Absolutely. We try to cover all we can with these episodes, as you could tell. But to keep up with the latest news, please check out the official DragonCon website, all their social media outlets. All the fan tracks are active on Facebook and various social media as well, so check them out there for direct contact with them. We are a proud member of the ESO Network. On the esonetwork.com page, there's a direct link to our TeePublic store filled with all kinds of cool merchandise. And there's still enough time to order some products with our cool logo on it too. We also have a Patreon where you can access our exclusive reading or mangling or destroying of the guest announcements that DragonCon has. Thank you, patrons, for all your support. We really do appreciate you. And, if we understand if you can't afford it, that's fine. Whether you're watching or listening to us, it doesn't cost you anything to help support our show with a like, a subscribe, and a share. So please do so. If you want to leave us direct feedback, you can reach us at feedback@dragonconreport.com. Thanks to everyone for joining us. I'm your host, Mike Gordon. And as always, it has been my pleasure. Take care, stay safe, and we'll see you all at the con.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the DragonCon Report. Whether you're a longtime fan or joined us for the first time, we hope you've gained some valuable insights and tips to make your DragonCon experience unforgettable. Don't forget to stay connected for more updates and future episodes. Until next time, keep learning, keep planning, and keep the con spirit alive.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network. Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping at the TeePublic store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.